You're watching WJLA 24/7 News. Good Morning Washington. On your side.
Millions of couples have had to adapt to being around each other much more over the last year, including working in close quarters as many offices are staying closed. This new normal can often intensify disagreements, especially when it comes to money matters. So joining us with helpful tips for couples to navigate financial disputes is Steve Siebold, certified financial educator and author of How Money Works. Great to have you here this morning, Steve. Now, you have 5 tips for us, and the first is all about the importance of just talking it out.
Yeah, communication is key, especially when it comes to something so emotionally driven as money. So you need to talk it out with your partner, make sure you're on the same page. People have different philosophies about money. So communicate, communicate, communicate.
Now, why do you say that couples should pick and choose their battles?
Well, if it's something small, let's say someone makes an expenditure, they have too much wine one night and they're on Amazon and boxes start showing up the next day, but they're small purchases, you might want to let that one go. But if it's a major purchase, like an automobile or something like that, that's going to negatively impact your financial future as a couple, then you're going to want to take that fight up and make sure that that gets handled before it gets out of control.
Absolutely. So what about setting aside money just for fun?
Yeah, I think one of the things that a lot of people are talking about since the shutdown is that, you know, we're so tied to these material things and money, and maybe experiences are what we should be looking at, especially as couples trying to be happy together over the long term. So maybe budget some money just to spend time together and maybe go places. Doesn't have to be expensive. It's something that you can share and experience.
So what do you mean when you say to never make it me versus you?
Well, I think you want to be careful about it being your money and my money. If we're a couple, it's our money. Even if you have separate accounts, which is fine, you're making decisions, financial decisions, as a couple as you would any other decision. So I think you want to do it together and take responsibility for the good financial decisions as well as the poor financial decisions. And that way you're sharing the experience as opposed to doing it separately and making it a fight between two people.
Okay, now you also recommend setting emotion aside when it comes to money. Why is that?
Yeah, emotion and money don't mix. They're like oil and water in any context whatsoever I've ever seen in 30 years of doing this work. They just don't go together. You want to stay logic-based, especially when you're in a communication with your partner, and talking about money in terms of logic, looking at numbers, looking at metrics, looking at your income, looking at your expenses, and keep emotion and feelings out of it, and you'll have much greater success.
Okay, where can we find your book, How Money Works?
They can look at Amazon.com or HowMoneyWorks.com.
All right, Steve, thank you for your time this morning. Greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Time right now is 8:18.